Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Debbra Sweet's in the house. Welcome.
Hi, Ron. How are you?
Glad to have you with us.
Love it up here.
And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Today, we've got a lot to we have a lot to celebrate every day. Constitution Day and Citizenship Day. Well, that's a good one. We're going to also look at, it is National Apple Dumpling Day. And having beaten anorexia, I think I'm just going to go with National Monte Cristo Day. That one sounds pretty good to me. So we'll look at all of them. We can do multiples today, can't we? And we celebrate a little bit more, although we are having in our thoughts and prayers today all of our fellow citizens and some that are actually watching us right now. Holy cow, have you seen what went on or what's going on in the Carolinas, and they still have not got it all under control? Amazing, the water flow out there. Although, it's amazing how the devastation itself is horrible. And then you watch and you see what some of the fake news channels are showing. Saw a video of one of the fake, I think it was the Weather's channel, and the broadcaster standing there bouncing back and forth, and people walking behind him without any trouble at all. Now, 60-mile-an-hour winds, that'll get you going a little bit. But it was ironic watching, and they said, well, maybe it's just because they're going the other direction or with the wind. And if you watch to the end of the video, they show the same people going opposite way. So I guess it couldn't have been that it was a situation that it was anything other than fake news. Then I saw another one where they have the news broadcaster standing in waist-deep water, and somebody else took a picture of the cameraman who was, maybe his shoes were wet. That was another good one out there. But it is devastation out there. There are, 800,000 people without power right now. A lot of people lost or are displaced. 10 million people evacuated. So regardless of what the news is showing, a lot of people out there that we can be very hopeful for, and hope that they can get back to their homes soon and get rebuilt, as little damage as possible. And most of all, hopefully there's as little loss of life as possible. That, all these other things you can rebuild. We had Taylor Wilson was in with us last week. We were talking about insurance. Well, you can get a lot of insurance. You can rebuild. You can, even if you don't have the insurance, as long as you've got life, you've got hope. So hopefully we'll keep that in mind for our fellow citizens right out there in the Carolinas and anybody else that's been harmed by these systems. Moving right along, checking out the news this morning. Financial news, Dow Jones Industrial Average. It is up 23 points as I speak to you. Oil down 17 cents a barrel. What's that doing for our gas prices? We always like to look and see. Now, I know it does make some of us a bit ill when I look at what the gas prices are here in Taxifornia, because the 285.1 is the national average. In Taxifornia, $3.63.50. Yeah, that's a bit painful. Now, if you need gas, $2.52.2 is what you would be paying if you were in Alabama. So just head over there to fill up. If you've got a big car, that might be the way. Hey, those of you with a Prius, you could probably get there on one tank and then fill up and come on back. Think about, wait, what's the value of time though? Yeah, that's why we're in California here at 363.5, as I said before. Ow! Painful. But hey, let's keep voting for the same people so we can continue getting high prices on our gasoline, get high taxes. We enjoy high taxes here in California. We prove it every day. No matter what anybody wants to say, we prove that we like high taxes because we keep on voting for the same people over and over again. And I do watch this. This is a fascinating thing, especially when you look at Congress. And I know they're not the ones that set this tax policy for California, but think about this part of it in Congress. Do you ever understand why it is that these same Congress people get elected over and over again, yet Congress has a sub 10% approval rating? Well, the answer is very simple. My congressman is good, yours stinks. Think about that concept. So I'm going to keep voting for mine, and yours stinks, but I don't have a vote there. And you say the exact same thing. So if we fired all of them, maybe that would be good. Maybe we get term limits in there. But, just in California, those of you that want to continue telling me how prosperous it is in California, I'll just share a little IRS information with you. From 1992 to 2016, California averages a loss of $58.63 billion every single year. That's an annual number in adjusted gross income. That's the amount of money that's leaving the state. Now, we do get people moving here from places that have more taxes, like New York. $6.13 billion left New York and came to California. $4.55 left Illinois. They get shot there, so it's better to come to California. New Jersey, $3.24 billion. Massachusetts, $2.48 billion. And Michigan, $1.47 billion. But where are Californians moving to? Well, our money goes to Nevada. $14.06 billion is the wealth that leaves California and moves to Nevada. Now, let's just do a little math here, and I'm just going to round these numbers off because I'm a simple guy. New York sent us $6 billion, Illinois sent us $5 billion, New Jersey sent us $3 billion, Massachusetts sent us $2 billion, and Michigan sent us $1 billion. That's about $16 billion that came in from those top 5 states, and $14 billion left California to go to Nevada. $9.6 billion left California for Arizona. So don't everybody tell me it's all going to Texas, but they did get $9.32 billion. Oregon got $8.33 billion. Washington got $7.32 billion. So yes, people are leaving the formerly Golden State for richer pastures in other areas. That's just the way it is. Now we do notice that some people are moving from Los Angeles out to go see our friends out in Riverside County. And I see we've got quite a few of you on the broadcast right now. $5.3 billion leaves Los Angeles, moving to Riverside. Now think about that. You can't tell me it's because of the beaches in Riverside. Now, some people talk about, having some earthquakes here, but I don't think we're going to have beachfront property in Riverside anytime soon. Just a thought there for you. But that's just where the money moves. I'd like to share that information for those folks that want to tell me that, it's such a prosperous state and everybody wants to be here. Well, not everybody with money apparently, at $58 billion a year leaving on average. Yes, I stopped getting the numbers. They don't have anything newer than 2016, so we can't give you anything more than that. Obviously, 2017 would be the only year missing because no one's filed their taxes yet for 2018. Just another comment for it. And October 15th, that is the last day for the automatic extension, so not everybody's even filed their 2017 returns yet. Moving right along, checking out the news. How about these Kavanaugh hearings? Is this fascinating watching what's going on here? Now, we've got this Me Too movement that's going on, and obviously what happens on the liberal stations, the lame media, what they will tell us is that you are guilty until proven innocent. Somehow that's not quite what it says in the Constitution, but that's the way the activities are. Now, think about this one. They've come up with this issue that supposedly, and I don't know whether it's true or not. I wasn't there, and neither were you, so we can't really say definitively. Did the judge do what he's being accused of doing? No idea whether he did it or not. What I do know for certain is that it's just a grandstand from Dianne Feinstein. How do I know that for certain? Well, she's held on to the information for 4 months. She never asked the judge about it during the confirmation hearings. She never asked the judge about it when she met with him privately. Why? Now, we already watched our Spartacus moment with Cory Booker. Now, I've got to find who's the most famous liar in our country, or in our history maybe. That would probably be more appropriate for Cory Booker. Why? Because he knew that what he was saying when he was grandstanding was a big lie. Heck, he did Jim Carrey one better than Jim Carrey did in the movie. Think about it, and I don't even watch movies. But think about that. Now, then you go to Kamala Harris, our other wonderful senator here in the state of confusion. Well, she was doing her audition for Law and Order in the Senate chambers during that confirmation hearing. And now we get Dianne Feinstein waiting until 4 days before the vote. Now, let me ask you this question. I'm just going to throw this out there. And I think that it should be investigated. So I'll say that from the go. But it's irrelevant when it comes to the Democrats, right? So the only one that really needs the information is Republicans. Why is it irrelevant for the Democrats? Well, they've all said they're voting no. So if every one of them has said they're voting no and the judge did it, are they going to change their mind and say, we're going to vote yes? And if he didn't do it, they're still voting no. So it's irrelevant what the Democrats come up with in this hearing. Now, should the Republicans change their vote from yes to no? I don't know. The question becomes, they need to explore. They need to find out whether the judge did it or didn't do it. But the bottom line of it is we're not going to know it in a timely manner. He's gone through 6 different FBI investigations and it never came out. So you got to just put that in your mind and say, why? Just my thought. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we are going to chat about women in business, the things that impact the growth of a business. If you're thinking of selling your home, when should you do that? We'll talk about that. Will homeowners insurance cost more if you're dropped by another company? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037 and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products for you. In fact, they are the only one I know of that has the Fast Pass loan approval. Yes, Fast Pass loan approval. That is the one that gets you the opportunity to maybe save $10,000 to $50,000 on the purchase of your new home. Think about that. No need for loan contingencies. No, they save you money. That's just the way. You got to get an appraisal. Got to have clear title. But the loan contingencies, they do not need to be there. Checking the markets though today. Dow Jones down 21 as we speak. Let's look and see what the all-important bond market is doing, because that's what's driving mortgage rates. That's the Mortgage Minute. So the 10-year Treasury, 2.99 as we speak. Pretty much flat from where it closed. The Fannie Mae 30-year bond down 2 basis points. I have to share this with you because I tell you this all the time. That is what is happening, but you don't need me for what is happening. The question is, why is it happening? Well, we've broken through our resistance. We had that resistance point that I was telling you there at 101 on the Fannie Mae bond. We went through that one. Now we're checking out how far down we're going to go. We did see the same thing that happened on the treasuries, on the 10-year Treasury. We had some support there, and that one there we're also watched where that one broke through. Italy, not a big issue right now. Turkey, not a big issue right now. And believe it or not, the trade war is not having a major impact on the bond markets. Maybe they were expecting that there was going to be 25% tariffs, and instead of that, we're ending up, it looks like we're going to be looking at about 10% tariffs. So maybe that's why we're not seeing the big issues. But we got to watch out. We got to be careful on this bond market because, if we keep going down too much lower and we go through these support levels, well, that means the bonds could continue to drop, which means interest rates can continue to go up regardless of how good the economy is doing. And yes, we're seeing all kinds of records being set in the economy. Consumer confidence came in at the end of last week, one of the highest numbers ever recorded. So watch those numbers. They continue to look good. And the markets, well, now here's the other issue. You got to remember this part because I heard this again over the weekend. People don't understand this part, and it's counterintuitive. Every single time we see significant increases in mortgage rates, every time for probably the last 30 years, significant increases in mortgage rates do not mean real estate prices are going to go down. You would think it would, but real estate prices seem to jump whenever there's these significant increases in interest rates. Now, what am I looking at as significant? Well, as of the 13th, September 13th, when Freddie Mac came out with the numbers, we were at 4.6. Last year, this time, 3.78. So if you didn't get your loan then, you're in trouble. You blew it. Ow! Big increase. Property values are still growing well above the norm. So that's not abnormal. It happens every single time. Don't want you to think that we're just in an anomaly right here. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. Let's chat some business. Debbra Sweet is with us, chatting business today.
Hi, Ron.
Hello there. So, what's going on? Things that impact growth of a business. I guess that's our first topic today. What are the things? Maybe you got to work.
Well, that's part of it.
Okay. Maybe doing things the right way instead of just working hard the wrong way is not going to get you a positive impact on business.
This is true.
Okay, so what do we have to do to get a positive impact on business?
So the thing that I've been talking about a lot, and we're going to be talking about it even more, is your mindset about it.
Okay.
Which is a little different. You know, my day-to-day, I do strategic marketing planning. We write marketing plans, develop the parts and pieces, we implement and manage. And what I want to make sure that we do is we integrate that marketing so that it aligns with the rest of the business operations. But one of the biggest mistakes that I see over and over is people don't take the time to plan, and their mindset about how to grow a business is, in my opinion, antiquated.
It's funny that you say that, because our Lunch and Learn seminars for the month of September, I did one last week, and I'm doing another one in Palm Desert on Thursday, has all been on time management. And it all has to do with, and we start off introducing it based on the 7 habits of highly successful people.
Wonderful.
Right? And a lot of it has to do with that mindset. You've got to get that mindset right, doing the right things, and planning your time.
Planning your time is part of it. There's so much. I think we spoke about this the last time I was here. There's so many people in a state of overwhelm. There's more technology and there's more to-dos, and how business is being run for most companies today is just different. There are so many levels of what I see: compartmentalization or separation, a lot of silos. Oh my gosh, I hadn't planned on talking about this. Silos, right?
Okay.
Silos in mentality, silos in operation, silos even within our own thoughts. How we show up at work is one way. What we do when we're in our little cubby, whether you have a cubby or you're just, you're in your zone. Silos at home, and all this compartmentalization has a huge impact into the human factor, which has a huge impact into business, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So when we're talking about things that impact the growth of a business, how we show up as an individual is number one, right? Number two is, what is it that this business is supposed to do? And this is always an interesting dialogue that I get into with clients and prospective clients. I have some of my clients, I ask them, what's your why? Why are you in business?
Exactly.
Why are you in business? Okay, so we'll keep it G-rated, but basically it has to. I have some clients that have said, it's all about making money. Well, that's great. We all need to make money. I'm not saying that we're not going to make money. We should make money. But there's a bigger why.
It's never about making money. And I'll suggest, here's my reasoning that I say that.
Right.
Is because I've said to several people, and I've heard the same thing when I ask the same question. It's about, I want to make money. Okay, how much money do you want to make? I want to make $1 million. Okay,
well,
so if you're going to make $1 million, are you going to put it on the coffee table?
Yep.
And just leave it there?
What are you going to do with it?
Right, you didn't want the $1 million. You wanted what the $1 million might do for you or your family.
Correct. And it's funny because there are people that I deal with, and there's a very distinct difference in how men approach business versus how women approach business. Very, very, very different. In fact, my conference, I have a conference in October it's a 3-day conference, and that's one of my topics that I'm getting into is how to think like a man, but how to think like a man but win like a woman.
Okay.
And that is of interest to women. It should be of interest to men too. But my point being is that,
Well, if you're going to be in business, I mean, you don't want to cut out 50% of your
No.
potential people, right?
No.
I mean, so you need to understand both.
you have to understand both, and they both belong together, and there's a way to support one another, and that kind of goes back to the division. This mindset factor is huge because, and the reason I'm sharing this is what you said. There are many people, when you ask them, what do you want to do in your business? I don't know. How much money? Well, I need to make money. Okay, how much money? Some people don't even have the confidence, or they have a money relationship. It's a money mindset that prevents them consciously from even setting a goal for their company, and that causes an issue. Okay, you're looking at me kind of. I was going to say, you're giving me a look here.
How do you know where you're going if you don't know where you want to go?
Exactly. And and thank you. I say that all the time, right? I can help you get there, but where is there?
Where's there?
Where's the destination, right? So when we're getting into mindset, there's another part that I hear all the time from people out and about in the community where I talk about, doubling up in business is easy. And people go, what? You can do that? You can actually double up in business. Well, sure, that's easy if you have the right strategy and you have the right plan and you have the right why. But it also starts with the right mindset. So, yeah.
So big part of it has to do with the mindset.
A huge part of it.
So how do you get these people that walk into work every day and they're just dreading it? Right? I hate going to work. I got to get up. I got to go to the office, or I got to go to wherever my work is. And then they think they're going to be able to flip a switch and be able to motivate people or influence people when they've got this stinking thinking, I call it.
Yep. There is a statistic out there that I'm going to oversimplify right now. It's between 72 to 83% of people are living life in a dissatisfied space. What does that mean?
Wow.
That's huge, okay? And that addresses what you just talked about. So when you're living in dissatisfied, you're dissatisfied with what you're doing, what's really taking place is that there's a conflict between the conscious and the subconscious thought process. There's the who we always wanted to be and the who we became that sometimes are not in alignment, or there's the what we wanted to do and what we're doing now that sometimes we're not in alignment. And I'm speaking from experience. I've been there. I've been in those places where you're like, oh my gosh, I just don't want to be here anymore.
Sure.
Right. So I have this mantra, some people ask, what's your mantra? Well, one of my statements is, if you don't like something, change it. Well, I can't do that. Well, sure you can.
Why can't you?
We change our shoes every day, right?
Right.
You pick out your clothes every day. You pick what you want to eat. So if you're not happy with what you're doing in your life or in your business or at your company, guess what? You have the power to change it. The biggest struggle is mental, and it's really about making the decision first that you don't like it, and then seek a solution for, okay, if I don't like it, what is it I don't like, and then what do I need to do to refine it or fix it?
Well, being happy is not
choice.
it's a choice.
It's a choice.
So go be happy, right? I mean, you just change what your mindset is. It's not like you're stuck there. We're going to talk more about this when we come back with Debbra Sweet.
Awesome.
You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. If you're thinking of selling your house, you must act now. Why? We'll talk about it. Will homeowners insurance cost you more if dropped by the carrier? We'll talk about that one as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. NEST, they're the quickest to get information to you. Text message. Did a sample about 2 weeks ago with a real estate professional. They got the Nest update about 48 hours, maybe 50 hours before they got the updates from some of the other major search engine groups or even the MLS drip. So Nest, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Get your dream home before someone else does. You thinking about selling that home? You got to act now. If you thought about selling your house this year, now more than ever may be the time to do it. The inventory of homes for sale is well below historic norms and buyer demand is skyrocketing. We were still in high school when we learned about the concept of supply and demand, many of us, and at least. So we understand that the best time to sell something is when the supply of that item is low and demand for that item is high. That defines today's real estate market. Lawrence Yoon, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, recently commented, contract signings inched backward once again last month as declines in the South and West weighed down on overall activity. Yoon goes on to say, the reason sales are falling off last year's pace is that multiple years of inadequate supply in markets with strong job growth have finally driven up home prices to a point where an increasing number of prospective buyers are unable to afford it, unquote. In this type of market, a seller may hold a major negotiating advantage when it comes to price and other aspects of the real estate transaction, including the inspection, appraisal, and financing contingencies. The bottom line, as a potential seller, you are in the driver's seat right now. It might be time to hit the gas, or are you going to wait until it becomes a buyer's market and you lose that advantage. That's your choice. We just give you the information. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment, again brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Continuing our conversation, Debbra Sweet is in the house. We've been chatting a little bit about mindset on business growth. How do you go and get into that business and go in there with stinking thinking and think you're going to create a great atmosphere and people are going to want to flock to being with you when you've got stinking thinking? I don't think it's going to work. What do you think, Deborah?
No, well, actually, it can work to a point.
Okay. Can we fake it?
Well, you know what? There's that adage of fake it till you make it, right?
Okay, yeah.
And at times, I grew up learning about that, and there's a point where you can sort of fake it, but people can always tell.
Right.
The truth always comes out, right? So, and we all have a bad day. And what I'm talking about here is different than just having a bad day, a bad moment. I'm talking about, there's two sides to everything. And there are some businesses where the whole culture of the company is negative, aggressive, it's self-centered, drama-centric, and I'm just showing up to get stuff done, maybe because they don't have a bigger why. We talked about that, right? They don't have a bigger why. So you know what those people tend to attract as far as clients go?
People that are like that.
That are just like that. And then it just turns into this vicious cycle.
Sure.
You start complaining about, I don't like my customers and I don't like this, and
Well, that's a great way to do business, is not liking your customers. That might cause a little bit of problem.
For some people it can, and when I look at people and they're coming to us saying, I need customers and I need to make money, right? Because that's what my clients ultimately want, whether they're male or female, larger or a growing company. That's always the end game of what my clients want. What I have to take a look at is, where are you at now? Where do you want to be, and what's getting in the way? And this cultural issue, this mindset issue, it starts from the top down.
Sure.
And so I'm kind of on a soapbox lately because I'm prepping for this women's event. And so
before we go too far, when is the women's event?
It is October 19th through the 21st. It is down in just south of Camp Pendleton. It's in Oceanside, California.
Okay.
So it's open to men and women. And what we're going to do is we're going to get
I always wonder about those. I've got another friend that does women's events, and she says, why aren't you coming to my women's event? And I said, I don't think I qualify. So you said the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, legally, I have to.
Okay.
But even before legally, right? Even before legally, it's always been an open door. I have amazing men in my life that are they're good people, and they really care about helping women learn how to do better business. And so the people that are showing up to this event...
I want to learn from the women. I don't think it's the other way around. Right? You got a lot to learn.
There's a lot to learn, and it goes both ways. And you are more than welcome to come. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So love to have you there. All right. So what are we getting back to? So what I'm talking about. So there's this whole aspect of culture and our mindset. And this is like my soapbox here is, I know that there are people that are not keen on what I'm about ready to say, but it is, I live it. So I'm speaking from transparency and authentic, an authentic place that I approach life really simplistically, right?
Okay.
And that is, I have a goal, I have a vision, and if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That's it, right? I won't speak.
That's pretty simple.
That's very simple. If I like something, I'll tell you. If I don't like something, I'll tell you too. Now, am I mean about it? No. I'm a little bit sensitive, and I'm careful with my word choice, because I'm very careful with my word choice, because that comes back to our mindset that influences everything. So the soapbox part here is that, going back to the people that complain about where they're at in business, and they don't, the ones that are not happy with their clients, sometimes we have to pull the mask off and look in the mirror and take a look at ourselves.
Sure, maybe I'm attracting
just what I am. Yeah, that it shows up in so many places. And again, if you don't like it, guess what? The good news is you don't have to stay that way. You don't have to be that way. There's always room for improvement. So on the flip side, there are amazing companies that have great culture that want to grow. So how do you do that? And how do you take what is, in some cases, people approach business for the sake of, here's what I hear. I want to make money, and I want to serve people. I hear that all the time. I want to serve people and I want to help people. Well, how do you want to do that? Well, I'm doing bookkeeping, or I'm doing roofing or landscaping or whatever, you're helping people
Sure.
with their homes and stay in their homes. So Our practical skill set is the vehicle, like you mentioned, but behind this, through everything, is what's your why and what's your mindset behind this, and that influences everything you do.
Fascinating. So you were saying, I think, and we kind of got. I'm good at rabbit trails. I'm really
good at them too. So I'm swinging right with you.
So we were talking. You were talking, I think, in the last segment a little bit about people not spending enough time. And the way I heard it was working on their business.
Correct.
So what is the time allotment we need for that?
You know what? That's a great question. And it ties right back into mindset. So, because it is counterintuitive. We get so in business where we have to serve our clients. I have to be doing my sales and I have to do this. And depending upon a client's business structure, are you a solopreneur? Are you at home? Are you working, you're managing home and, your home base is in your home, right? Or in a brick and mortar. When you're scaling up, the answer depends upon where you're at in the growth cycle. There are different levels of plateaus, and when you're going from a startup up to your first million, and then the million to 2 million and 2 million and up, there are these very distinct steps or levels that when you're at a revenue model, there's usually situations inside of your company that you have to take care of. And one of the mindsets that many people, that I help a lot of people get through, is the mindset of I can't afford the time to slow down and work on my business. And that is one of the biggest...
So you spend double the time doing it otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
Or putting out the fire because they should have been working on their business, and now they've got a fire drill that's taking away from something, and they're not doing it when they want to do it. They're doing it when they have to do it. It still has to be done.
Right, and it's usually reactive instead of proactive. And so a lot of my clients, when I hear that, I love that statement to a certain extent, because that's the perfect time for us to start working together. And usually what I want to answer your question, if you have a listener that is saying, oh my God, that is me. I don't have time. I can't afford to take the time to slow down and work on my business. My suggestion is, can you commit 1 hour? Or 30 minutes. Okay. Start little, take baby steps, because it is a mindset shift. And if you can, by setting aside 30 minutes,
make an appointment with yourself for lunch.
But you got to hold that appointment. And usually lunch isn't the best time, because lunch is full of distractions for most people.
Okay.
I find that the majority of people that are get it done people, if you show up to work a half an hour earlier,
okay,
where it's quiet, you get a tremendous amount done. It comes back to mindset. Why I can't get up early? Well, why? Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's your choice.
It's your choice. You set the alarm clock a little earlier,
exactly.
Right? It all starts with the decision and the commitment, and what is the outcome?
Well, I guess you didn't have a strong enough why if you're not able to get up a half hour earlier.
There you go.
Right? You didn't have a strong enough reason why you're doing what you're doing.
That's right. And so going back to, you made the comment of, when I shared the statistic of all the people living in disconnect, and you made the comment of, well, what about all those people that they show up and they're like, oh my God, I hate Mondays. It's all an attitude. It starts with an attitude, and find out why. What is causing, what is it that's showing up in your life that is causing you to feel that way, and where would you like to be instead? How would you like to live?
Is it manifesting in other areas of your life?
It shows up everywhere.
Absolutely. We're going to talk more with Debbra Sweet when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Will homeowners insurance cost more if you're dropped by another company? All that and more. You can reach us anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. If you want more information about Debra's women's event, check out the Facebook page, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, or give me a call. Be happy to put you in touch with Debbra Sweet as well with regard to that. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It's wrong. They all are. That's my opinion. I know that some people will tell you that only 20% of them are wrong. I've been looking at credit reports for many decades now, and I've never seen one that's completely accurate. I've seen great scores, but not completely accurate reports. So why do you think yours is completely accurate? Just a thought for you there. Homeowners insurance, will it increase if you're dropped by another company? In most cases, if you're dropped by an insurer, your homeowners insurance will cost more. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
You know you're coming here for the truth. The alternative can be even worse. You may have trouble finding another company to issue a homeowner's policy. We're talking again. Taylor Wilson was telling us last week one of the big carriers is not even issuing homeowners insurance in California right now. Too many fires. Now, I had a person we were consulting with that lived on a street that was sagebrush something or another. The insurance carriers just saw the street name and said they didn't want to issue insurance there. Just a thought for you. Insurance companies can become nervous about you as a customer for a variety of reasons. Frequency and type of claims you've had will influence the price you pay. Redlining. Originally, the term redlining became popular to identify lenders who would not approve mortgage loans in certain areas or zip codes. Although it is now illegal for mortgage lenders to deny loans for such reasons, insurance companies sometimes will not write homeowners insurance coverage in certain areas regardless of the quality of the home or applicant. Although insurers cannot refuse to write a policy for that reason alone, they'll typically come up with something that's more palatable. Yeah, we're not doing anything in fire zones. Think about that. That's just kind of what's going on in the marketplace. Property and casualty companies Usually pull your credit report before issuing a policy. Individual insurance companies use this report to slot insureds into different premium rate categories. You might find this annoying since you're not applying for credit, but an insurance inquiry does not lower your credit score. However, if you were dropped by another insurance company for non-payment, a new company likely will slot you for a higher premium rate or refuse to issue a policy. Changing conditions. If you filed one or more homeowners insurance claims in a relatively short period, your company may issue a change in conditions of coverage instead of dropping you. Guess what that means? That's a fancy term for you pay more. Just the way it is. Stop that, guys. Unfortunately, since insurance companies share information with each other, how about the Clue report? That'll tell them how many claims you've had. That is just giving them more information. So the answer is, yeah, most of the time, you get dropped by one company, you're going to pay more wherever you may end up. And that is the Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It's wrong. What are you doing about it? Hey, our friend Alan Han has a great program that he'll, for a modest amount of money, he'll take care of getting your credit report cleaned up. And what do I mean by cleaned up? It means making sure that the credit reporters are reporting things accurately and in accordance with the law. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's Your Credit Matters segment, CreditSanitizer.com. Continuing our conversation, we are chatting business and business consulting and mindset with Debbra Sweet. Welcome back.
Thank you. I love listening to you.
Oh, thank you.
You give out goodness.
Well, we try to.
I know.
So, impact of women in business. We got to make sure we get into that topic before we run out of too much time today, because I know you got your big seminar coming.
It's coming.
So
soon.
You know, it's funny because there's so many industries that I don't know why it seems like that's even a topic, right? Because impact of women on business. I know in real estate, we find that the guys basically get a small vote when it comes to the financial side, and we get no vote at all when it comes to picking the house, right? My wife, when we picked our house, I got to say yes or no. My wife didn't listen, and she made the decision. And we find that in most instances, and in a lot of areas. I mean, I can't even pick out my own clothes. So when you talk about the impact of women on business, well, maybe it's the other way around. Is there anything that's not impacted by women? Right? I mean,
I'm just laughing only because you're leading it right into a perfect opener. So
okay.
Well,
and we didn't even talk about that one.
We are. All right. So the reality is, and statistics are out there. You can, for those of you who want to know the statistics, you can find it on your own. But here's the thing: it's been a known fact that women are, for many years, have been the largest influencer of all major purchases.
Sure.
And for when you look at historical generations, for the most part, women have been in the home. So, they've been in charge of the home. So starting with the home, and that home influences our life. And women have been made the major decision makers for a long time. Now, when it goes into women in business, obviously when you go into our current century and in our previous century, there's been this increase of women getting out of the home and into the workforce. And let me just say that the women that I like to work with are ones that are what I call get it done women. These are dependable women. I am not talking about, there's some women call other women feb Nazis, so I'm not talking about that space, okay? Did you notice that? Because that's not my word, that's what other women call certain women that come up with a victim mentality. I don't play in the space of victim mentality. I've been through too much. So when it goes into business in general, and women, how women are influencing our American culture, our American economy, it's a big deal. And there's so you have women that are the majority of businesses today are still owned by men in their 50s. The majority of them are Caucasian. Like, I'm talking broad demographics, right?
Real generalities, sure.
Real generalities. But the largest uprise, or the largest growth segment of new businesses, are women.
Well, it makes sense because, I mean, I'm a statistics nerd.
Right.
Right? And one of the biggest things that we watch in business is GDP. right? 70% of GDP is driven by retail sales.
Totally.
Or the consumer, I should say, not retail sales, but is driven by the consumer. Well, the consumer, who's doing the majority of the purchases of the consumer?
It's the women.
Right? It's the women.
Yeah, women influence so many things. So here's the catch-22 though. Women are coming into a space, and like we talked about earlier, men and women approach business differently. They approach life differently.
They approach everything different, right?
Right. So what I find this is experiential, for all the years of running our strategic marketing firm, writing marketing plans, it is usually the men. It is men predominantly that are the ones that invest money with me to write a high-level marketing plan. Like, they take the time to map it out ahead of time. Now,
my wife would be the opposite of saying that, because she says, I never ask for instructions.
Well,
right?
and I was going to say
it's a
that.
shortfall.
So it is a shortfall. Well, but there are men where they show up, and I think part of it goes back to the mindset. Men understand, if I invest X amount of dollars into my company, the next sentence or question that I get is, when do I get my ROI? So it's all about a strategical mindset about how they're going to grow business. And when we take the time to map out and plan out, it's just like building a blueprint or architecturally drawing up plans for a home before you build it. There's a reason you want to do it,
sure.
Right? Let's work out the details on paper, work out potential issues on paper before you put it into practical practice. And so men are very good about that. Women, the mindset is that women, because they're so serving, and they come to the business space in a point of, initially, they're looking for collaboration. Men are much more competitive, even though I'm very competitive. There's competitive women. There's this side of our natural, men are more, it's still that hunter. I'm that hunter, and I'm going out for the kill to provide. It's very hardwired in the DNA. Women are still at the core nurturing. So women look to collaborate. Women are not always so confident in asking for a sale and charging a value, charging for their price of what they're worth. And many women do not feel comfortable and confident in investing into themselves to learn how to build a better business. So we go right back into mindset.
Full circle. Well, the bottom line is, you're going to have to go to this event October 19 to 21. It's in Oceanside, and we'll get the information right on our website. And we ask you, as we do every day, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your time with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.